What's up everybody, Anthony Vicencio here today at Motion Pro, and I want to go over our Cable Luber V3. This is a really cool tool. I like this one a lot. What's special about this one is it has an innovative seal that helps capture all the cable lube when you go to lube your clutch cable or throttle cables. And it's mess free, which is really nice because if you've used any cable lubers before or different versions, they can be a bit messy, and so this one helps mitigate that quite a bit. It's going to be application for 4 to 8 millimeter cable housings, so it uses on, or it's good for use on most cables. And then it also works on the captured fittings that have the spinning end that some of the OEM clutch cables have as well. It could also be used with compressed air at the end to blast the cable lube through and to help clean the cable line as well. And then obviously we have our Motion Pro cable lube that we always recommend that you use. It works really, really well. So I'll give you a look at this. You just break it down and open this up here, and then you have that seal I was talking about is captured inside. And what's neat about this, we'll get a good close look up for you, but what's really neat about this is it goes around the cable housing itself, and then when it compresses, it's compressed in this chamber, and then that's what's going to hold all of the lubricant in there. And then when you go to apply the pressure from spraying the cable lube in there, this will expand. This shaft right here will expand out like that, and so when you're all done, you just remove the cable luber, the cable lube itself, and then when you press this in, that will push the rest of the lube up through the cable line. So when you look at the cables and you're trying to figure what side you should lube from, this particular cable here, this is going to be a clutch cable. This is going to be up where the clutch lever and perch is. So if you look, you don't have a bunch of threading, or it's not really complex up here. So this is going to be the area that you would want to lubricate from. We'll show you real quick. You're going to throw the cap on first, like that. And then you take this seal right here, you open it up, and then the wide part goes into the cap. So you want to make sure you twist that on like this. So it's on there like that, and see the wide part is going to go into the cap like so. And when I do it, this is going to be all the way through, right? So it's going to be going around the housing. Then I'm going to put the cable through. That's going to push that forward a bit, and then I can go to seal. And when I tighten this up, I want to go to where it gets snug, but not crazy tight. So you want to get to where you start feeling a bit of resistance, and right about there it's starting to really kind of ramp up. So I'm just going to go a little bit more than that. And then this should, if you look at it, the housing has the seal compressed around it, so you want to make sure it's on the housing. A lot of times what can happen is it can go around the actual wire itself. If that happens, just back it off and make sure it's over the housing. But that's the end that you're going to be wanting to work from. If you look at this end right over here, this is where it's going to go down to the clutch on the motor side. This is not where you want to mess with it because there's threading. The probability of it sealing really well is a little bit lower. Not to say that it can't be done here, but it's just not going to work as effectively. If you want mess free, you're always going to try and find the cleanest side to work from. I'm going to show you how to use this cable luber real quick. We got a 06 YZ125. With this one in particular, where the clutch cable goes into the motor, it's not exposed. So I'm going to take this off because there's going to be a lot of residue and fluid that comes out. So I want to make sure that I can keep this clean. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this open and take the stator cover off. There we go. You'll have this piece here. I'll just fold that up, and then should be able to get this off. Probably going to need a little bit more slack. So another thing that's always important to do is you want to bring this in as much as reasonably possible. It should help you get the cable out. So bring this up the line. Now I have all of these lined up. Sometimes you can get away with pulling this, not gonna be able to do that, so we need to bring the adjustment in. So I'm gonna take two 8mm. I'm gonna break this free. There you go. Just like that. Spin this up. I'm gonna spin this here. So I'm going in a bit. And I wanna get enough slack to where, right here. So it clears right there. This is all lined up with the slot. And then I'm able to pull the cable. This is gonna give me all the slack when I push it in. If you look down here, see how I have all that slack? So I pop that out. Then I could pull this so that way, now it's not gonna leave a mess in here, and I'm just gonna get a rag and cover that up. And then we'll have that there just like that. That way it's easy to clean up. So now that we have this up, or this off up top, and after further examination, you see how this is gonna be a bit bigger. So I don't really know that this is gonna be the best spot for us to lube from on the top. Sometimes you can. In this case, when we look down here at the bottom, there's a smaller fitting here. So I'm gonna go ahead and lubricate this one from the bottom up. So that way we get a better seal down here. So we're gonna start off by putting the cap on first, and then I'm gonna take this seal, open this up, and the wide side right here is gonna go up towards the cap. So I'm gonna wrap this around like so. There we are. Get this piece in just like that. And then I'm gonna run that up until you see how that is. We're gonna go up against the stop. And then I'm gonna take this piece here and push it on and keep pressure so that way it stays up against this stop right there, and then start to screw this guy on. So it's getting nice and firm. There we are, perfect. Should be good. I'll leave this rag down here, and then I'm going to take another rag. Take this other rag, and I'll just leave it underneath here, just so that way when we have the lube coming through, it'll catch on this. So we're gonna go ahead and take the cable lube, and I'm gonna take this little red piece and get that into the seal. There you go. It's good. Tube in there, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start applying some lube. And then we're watching up top to see that the lube's getting through. You can hear the air coming and the pressure coming through the top. There you go. See, now you can see it's starting to clear out. So it's getting a lot of that residue out of there. It's starting to drip pretty clear now. So if you take a look here at the bottom, as you can see, the shafts come out. So it's got a little bit of pressure in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull this out, cover it with my thumb, and then that's gonna push the rest of the lubricant up to the top. And then we can go ahead and take this off. There we go. And pull this seal off like so. That's all good. I'm gonna pop this off too. Now if we look, and I give that feel like butter. Really, really nice. So I like that. That's gonna feel really good. So we'll take this part and then throw it all back together. So I'm gonna start down here, put this part in. So I'm gonna bring that up, make sure I get it through the port right there, pull the free length down, get it in that slot, then press it up. Then I can bend this tab back over like so. So there you go, that's locked in there. And this is gonna be loose right now. I could press this down as best that I can. What I'm gonna do up here though is I'm gonna get this in so that way when I go to pull this lever, it'll tighten everything up and seat it correctly. So this is gonna, I just need to make sure this is all lined up. And then I take the barrel in underneath like so, pull this across. Okay, now I'm pulling on that, so I should be able to line this up. There we go. So that's in. Now that's gonna give me the slack up here. Then I pull that lever real quick and that pulls everything together to make sure it's seated properly. Now I'm gonna make the proper adjustment here to make sure that the cable slack is appropriate. So I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure like this. So once I've already pulled it, everything's seated. So I put a little bit of pressure and then now I'm gonna go ahead and back this out. Let's see, we're gonna go just a little bit more. And I think that's pretty good. And I usually leave about enough slack like that so that way you can make the minor adjustments right here. So that feels pretty good. Take the lock nut here, seat that down to there, get my 8 and 8. So one there, one here. Gonna tighten that up. That's locked in place. Bring this back over. Wipe that up real quick. And I'm gonna get the cover back on. Get that one started. And then this one here. Good. There we go, and they're all snug. Just double checking. Let's go make that quick last adjustment to get it right where we like it. I'd say about right there is good. Snappy. And that's how you use the Cable Luber V3. If you have any questions, you can contact us via our websites, www.motionpro.com. And yeah, for more interesting, innovative tools like this to service and maintain your motorcycles, ATVs, UTVs, any of that stuff, you can visit our website and find more or check out our YouTube channel as well.